Hello everyone. I'm going to share with you the second exercise in the series um, that I'm practicing, learning about, trying to get my own system down. Um, but it takes, with meditation, with spiritual practices, they're not just like a physical exercise, and it takes repetition and experience and concentration. So, anyways, just sharing with you the next exercise in this Teutonic um, series of runic gymnastics or runic yoga. Um, and I guess the point that I'm making with this is that uh, every system, all the spiritual systems, have something to offer, and every people has something to offer. And the wisdom of one group of people is not necessarily any better than the other. They're all interchangeable to me, and I can move smoothly from one culture and one religion and spirituality to another, because to me they all the same. Um, they have a little bit different exercises, a little bit different dogma, but you know, in the end, the exercises are compatible with one another, and I've synthesized um, them into a system that I can use. And so I'm just explaining um, my point of view and my experience, and uh, so anyways, sharing with you what I have to share. And so this is the second exercise, and it's the Rune UR. And in German, as a prefix to a word, means something that's primordial, something that is original. It's similar to arches in Greek. That's where we get the word archaeology. And the study of the origin of things. Um, so, anyways, and I want to say this exercise is after Fa, when you wake up in the morning and you're spiritually, well, you're physically aroused, and you're turning that energy into uh, returning it to its source. Well, is the next step in returning it to its source. Um, and so the letter in the Elder Futhark is Uruz. And the sound, of course, is Uruz. And your head should vibrate at the Z, like we say a buzz. Someone has a buzz, and you almost feel the energy. It should be like an electrocution. You should feel like an actual vibe, um, and your head should vibrate. If you make the sound Z, well, Z in German is actually S. Z is like T in German. The letter Z is T, and it's like similar to Tzadi in Hebrew. Tzadi. Anyway, S is a Z sound. Um, and so, anyways, this is that sound at the end of Uruz. It's the Sig sound, or the Zig sound. And so what's being done is that the energy is coming up from the genitals up to the Dantian, or the Dantian of Taoism, or traditional Chinese medicine, um, or the Svadhisthana chakra in Hinduism. Um, anyways, at the solar plexus, to the navel, just inside the uh, the body there. Anyways, so this exercise is to bring the energy up to that center, to the door of life, to return it to where it came from, so as not to lose it through ejaculation in the morning, or whatever. Uh, Basically, to preserve the energy, return it to its source. And so actually, Urus, it refers to the aurochs, which was a wild bison, uh, kind of an ox that had large horns, and it was a wild European ox. And so, anyways, it's about virility. It's about preserving the energy, and because if you'll recall, the first letter was Fa, or Fehu, which refers to a domesticated cattle, and now this is referring to the aurochs. Ur is referring to the aurochs, which is the wild cattle. So it's returning it basically to its source and its wild center, instead of dissipating it into um, domestication. And I think there's like a theme that you should gather here, where domestication is a kind of a dumbing down of the original way that we as people should be. We shouldn't be, in other words, domesticated. We shouldn't be fall into line with the way society makes things weak, makes people dependent on one another. And so, anyways, the exercise itself is associated with drizzle, with rain, with water, and the hanged man, because the rune itself is in the shape of a U, but not all the way. The leg doesn't come down all the way to the beginning of it, so that it looks kind of like a hangman's platform, you know, and reminds me of the game Hangman, which was a game that was originated in Victorian era Britain. So, anyways, I think that it may have had associations with Odin, and Odin hung from a wind-torn tree, and so, anyways, which is the original, the hanged god, the sacrificed god, that hung in a tree, or nailed to a cross. Either way, it's the god being sacrificed for life to be preserved, and free will maintained. Because if the will of God was active, as opposed to passive like water, if it was fire, then it would destroy everything else. There would be no independent life beyond it. So, anyways, Fa is the fire, and Ur is the water. And so, anyways, this exercise, I'll explain it more. I'll do a blog on it with a lot more detail and a lot more interesting that way. But This is just the exercise. So the exercise is pretty simple. After the fa, just rise in the morning, do the fa exercise, and then get out of bed and stand erect, and then bend over. Either while you can start just standing straight up and start the urus, and then by the time you reach the letter Z, the pronunciation of the Z, you should be all the way leaned over, and the energy should flow to your head, and you should fill with, blood should rush to your head. You should feel the energy in it as well, and kind of like a rain or a drizzle. So, anyways, stand erect. Oh, so anyways, and of course I feel the blood rushing to my head just doing that, and but okay, I'll describe it more in detail, and that's the second exercise. Anything else? There's a lot more that I want to say, but I just blog it. So all right. Happy spring.